Bumps and bruises, scratches and scrapes, some of the ingredients that a good life makes. But sorrows become success. And as we aim for the top, we will pause if we must, but we will never stop. Welcome to Sim Soul Session. Hello and welcome to Sim Soul Sessions. This is a safe space to share your stories. Tonight my guest is an actor, musician, all-around creative who's been all around the world, literally and figuratively.
What the fuck say? Shut it, man.
No, you shut it.
No, you shut it.
You shut it.
Shut it.
Shut it.
Forget it. Just keep running.
Yeah.
In his thoughts, in his deeds, and in his life experience. How he says he's happy, but he's not quite settled. Living his dream, but there's more dreams and more he dreams of doing and needs to do. They call him Pukupoo, but his government name is Everaldo Creary, and he sits with me tonight. Hello there.
It's a pleasure.
What you say? Oh, you want to greet me?
Yes, I want to hug you finally. You're awesome. You smell fabulous.
I bathe.
Yeah, bathe is a good thing.
Bathing is a great thing.
Awesome color on your shoes too.
Let me tell you something now. You see, when it comes to fashion,
Yeah.
I don't play with you, you know. Because your style is just, it's so eclectic, it's so different, it's so unique.
Thank you very
Much like
much.
your personality. But it makes me think back to when you were growing up and you used to see the entertainers come in your community in their own eclectic and unique fashion, and them hair locks and sometimes no comb.
yeah.
And you would say, oh, they're so unkempt.
Yeah, very unkempt, don't it? You know, it was fascinating to see it. You know, I always thought it was brave. I remember seeing Monster Twin, you know, Greg. I remember Greg from that. I don't know if anybody remember that group, but when they used to go to studio, man, his pops never liked the fact that he wanted to be an artist. And when he told me he wanted to be an artist, I didn't know that the word artist referred to musician, because he was a brilliant artist too.
Well.
Yeah. And then I used to watch him give me his first cassette recording. I used to hide and listen it. But just to see him walk from the studio on Camperdown Road or Portland Road on Lincoln Road going home, and then their fashion was just so, you know, not normal at all, you know. But they were so brave, you know, the colors, but they was brave in them image. And
Do you feel brave in your image now?
yeah, I feel brave in my image. I mean,
Free?
by now, free, yeah, because, you know, over the years, I think you said free. Free is kind of an interesting thing because, you know, as a creative, we have to like tap into what truly resonates with us, you know, and that's a journey, you know, because you're maneuvering other people's belief system or things of you while you find yours.
It's a lot of self-discovery.
Yeah,
And
self-discovery.
That's not easy.
No.
Especially for a young man who is living a life now that 18-year-old Everaldo Creary could not see, because until that age, sir, you had not even taken a bus.
A lot of things. I was still a virgin too.
At 18 years old,
Yeah.
that was the first time you took public transport.
Yeah, I took public transportation first time outside of my vicinity. I was going to Constant Spring, Merle Grove High School for a rehearsal at the time. Because Merle Grove and KC, Kingston College, had teamed up with a drama club, you know, and we were doing well. But, you know, the drama club was what pull me out of that, tight, protective parental,
Because
space.
super sheltered you were.
Very sheltered.
Completely sheltered
Yes.
by parents who were steeped in religion,
Yeah, very.
steeped in do you call it revivalism? Or is it Pocomania, or are the two mutually inclusive?
Maybe there's some inclusiveness with all of them because they're all Afrocentric, it's our ancestors' practice. Well, I would say it's revival.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
revival.
At 16, you got baptized into that revival. A lot of people hear that now and go, what? But you did.
Yeah, after I'm born at Jubilee, but it's a churchyard I grew up in. It's my parents' yard and thing. So there was no other option really. Church was the way.
That was
Is
the
the
way.
way. Yeah.
You became a deacon, Everaldo.
And then by age around 22, I was ordained as a deacon in the church.
Yeah.
It's so interesting when they ordained me as a deacon. I had this very close friend. She's a Christian too. She was the wife of one of the pastors at the time. She called me and she said, Evie, I know you're not ready, because, we were a little bit closer. So she would know where my headspace is, And I was like, she said, you have time, you can still write them a letter and tell them, you're not
ready.
You're not ready
Did
for
you
the
feel
position.
not ready?
No, when I hung up the phone and I saw to myself and I was like, I know the nature of my church. My church at the time, they can read you up. So I had a reverence for that, Anything them say, the Spirit say, it's 99% true.
Really?
Yeah, so, the reverence there, I have that. So I'm not seeing any read up happening, you know what I mean? All I'm seeing is genuine people saying, this is not my will, it's the will of the, and then there's a process. I remember the night when we were at Young People Fellowship, bless up my godfather, Bishop Blundell Grant, and, they were there and they got in a spirit, and I thought it was a regular, drill bands, they call it. I thought it was just regular drilling bands tonight. And it was out of context too, because it's Young People Fellowship, it's not it's a Friday evening, not a Sunday.
Right.
And we gather, in revival, you have to always dance around a message table, and then when they settle this, the minister at the time just said, this is coming from the Lord, Everaldo, we're going to appoint in the office. And I was like, wow, because at the time I was, my churches at the time, they're very tight on their morals, so some simple things would definitely take you to hell, Maybe as simple as wearing a marina too. Yeah.
Or like getting involved in drama.
Get involved in drama, singing flirtatious poems.
Doing commercials
Doing
with suggestive. Okay. So, yeah, you see where we're going. There were some things that Evie got into that eventually would affect that Christian walk and lead him to make some very difficult decisions.
Yeah.
And we're going to explore that on the other side of this break. Soon come. Back with Evie on the show, and we're talking about his Christian walk. Baptized at 16, eventually became a deacon, getting involved in drama simultaneously, and headed to UTech, where, well, you tell me, your mind just started to see a whole different view of life.
Yeah, well, I would say it started at sixth form with an introduction to a subject called sociology and literature. And, what I've always had in myself personally, I normally, I was growing to respect elders, so I would listen. I have to listen. But luckily, I was always, inquisitive and always thinking about what I like, what resonates with me. And that's a word I never even used back then, So the drama was that, you know, doing it, you know, meeting people, expressing myself, you know, just getting a chance to go outside of my, you know, comfort zone, my own yard and community. You know, all that mix up just seemed so exciting to me. So that was a direction. So yes.
The church did not like that.
No, well, they weren't so privy of the depths of it. You know, I would come home with medal, maybe my mother would tell her friends or closer friends and thing. But they know that Evie was always creative and entertaining because I was very involved in.
You were a
know,
drummer in the church?
Drummer in the church. I was playing drums, singing on the choir, excelling in Sunday school, academically. It was, you know, concert I keep me and my brothers them, you know, and Melissa Grant. We had a group called MCs, you know. So I was very active in church, doing everything right. So that moment when I got the commercial opportunity at Tantra as an energy drink, it was like erotic drinks, you know. So they were on the more, you know, infatuation side of life. But you know,
That commercial changed your life.
it did, you know.
It's a commercial for a libido lifting drink that Evie did, and after that commercial aired, you were summoned.
Yeah, I was someone neatly, you know.
Neatly?
After church, you know, I didn't even expect it. You know, I was probably lingering. I was lingering to go home naturally, and just before already, I remember, you know, Pastor Hamilton. I don't have anything against her. So for the record, if you see this, never will. You know, Pastor Hamilton said, you know, I saw that thing last night. So what happened is that it's aired on national TV in prime time. Nothing but, you know, when the ministers are there at home eating their Sunday dinner, them deacon come up in this very suggestive commercial. So she said, you know,
When I laugh, but man, that's
I can't be doing that, you know, and in the church business, basically that's what she said. And
choose.
I had to choose, you know. I remember going down the hill because it's Jarclane at the time, Berwick Jarclane, Mountain View Jarclane, the church was. I going down, I was thinking, you know, I had this favorite Bible story about the talents, you know. I know God gave the talents to these people, 10, 5, you know, and 1. And those who buried it, he was very upset with them. He came back, took it from them. So I was doing the maths because, you know, I was a preacher too at the time. They would always encourage me to do sermon, but it wasn't the typical way of that musical excitement. Yes! And, you know, more, it's literature, so it's more, you know, I'm analyzing this. Yeah. So these were the things that resonate with me, the fact that I would say, you know, you're praising the Lord. There are two terms that can be misleading. You know, praise the Lord and think positive.
Yeah.
You know, so praising the Lord at my church at the time, you know, is saying it and lift your hands. Where for me, it was a little bit more deeper than that. You know, that's the theory. How do we practice?
And your practice was by honoring God.
The talent that I wasn't institutionalized, so it's totally raw. You know what I mean?
A gift.
Me used to run on my brethren, Shell and Shepherd. I was in a higher class grade than him. I annoyed this youth. He must say, "What to the stranger coming for his poem?" You know, I saw him do a poem and the girls were excited about it. I was like, this poem, it was secular, but it was a good topic I could bring to church. So I wanted to bring that dope poem to church, you know. But, you know, and that's how it started, by being just very enthused. You know.
So you decided that you would walk away from the church that you were in, but you were still serving God because you were honoring him with the gift.
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, you said walk away from the church. The Bible said he's coming for a church out of a church.
Yes.
So that means he's not coming for the building. You know, and the church is not a building. But that's what literature and poetry does for you in analyzing the words.
Opens your mind.
Yeah, it does, you know.
Exposes you to other things.
Yeah.
I have one more thing I want to ask you before we go to this break and come back. You did not tell many people when you were at university that your church was a revivalist church.
Yeah, at university, at school.
Why? Why did you not?
Because revival is not, it's, you know, people, I don't know, it's looked down upon. They're afraid of it. There's this fear of it, and you know, the people who are involved, others like shun them, you know, stand off, yeah, obia mana, you know, your prince, you know, this fear, and I don't know, it's a repelling energy. So
But
I never.
even you yourself are still trying to understand a lot of it because of some of the things you've seen. You've seen people, you say, healed with fruit and...
Yeah, grapefruit, coconut. You know, I remember one time after years, just curious, them always mash the coconut after they're getting a spirit and circle yourself with it and release that energy. You break the coconut and you turn, right? You know, one day I say, yo, man, I'm going to try it. I'm going to eat one and see what happens.
Every nobody at the...
We eat it and like nothing happened. Like coconut is good for you. Like what do you mean? It's a superfood.
Mash it and put it over you. It's not the same thing as ingesting it, you know. Why?
Because I wanted to prove to myself that mysticism that is around.
But you saw people walk into church in wheelchairs and walk out.
Yeah, there was this particular time when my godfather was at this spinal issue, so he couldn't make church at the time. And the church just couldn't go on him in spirit. Then just go for him down the yard because him lived nearby. Lift him up, carry him, because he was barely walking. Then them roll out the white sheet from off the table onto the floor, lay him down and roll him, wrap him in the white sheet. Drilling bands, unwrap him. And he walked home. Now, so when I would say to someone who is not educated enough with an experience in that, they would wonder, you know, does these things work? Or it's a mind thing. And to me, I would say it's both, you know. But the magic that is there is just as real. So it made me delve into this, the mind, you know, the power of, you know, concentrating, meditating, praying.
Yeah.
And it's not just exclusive to that space.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what happened now when you threw yourself into acting, a little bit about your career and where you're headed now, that you're no longer part of a group. He's looking to build a big image for himself, a bigger, because my big things are really there. More, take time while you sip, don't choke. More with Everaldo on the other side. Soon come. Folks, we're back with Evie, and we're talking a little bit now about your journey in theatre and then film becoming a thing and just living your dream, really, immersing yourself and honoring those gifts that God has given you. You enjoyed it, but you say for you it's really been a fight between the spiritual and the material. You loved it. You did. You forgot what we talked. We talked for a long time. I make copious notes.
Copious notes.
Yes. So you enjoy the fame, but there's something about it that if you don't check it.
Yeah, that rooted, that groundedness. I mean, people tend to evaluate, calculate success with the material gain, you know. And maybe that's probably a mistake of mine, because my journey through in JCDC, you know, it wasn't for the money. It was, you know, preserving our culture after being, you know, exposed to it and its depth, and then for the merit, that the card of merit, then the gold medal, then to reach national finals and represent Jamaica at Mellow-go-round. That was the validation for us, for me at the time.
But more than that,
but as
you told me theatre saved you.
Well, yes, it did. Yeah, because, you know, I would say I grew up in everything wasn't all fine at home, because, you know, Christian parents, but they fight, you know, they used to fight a lot. And
And there was
you
a
know,
little fight, a lot of fighting around you. You say in the yard, you would hear people, neighbors arguing every morning, and
yeah, it was all over. You know, there's this thing I noticed with people are very angry, you know, and that vexation of spirit, to feel it so close to home too, you know, it's like when people get intoxicated in that energy so much, what really matters, the bigger picture don't become important anymore. So see my parents, you know, in a domestic violence situation ongoing, you know, and then see that our presence couldn't stop it anymore, you know, was at the time I didn't know it was traumatic until I learned
until it
that,
became
yeah.
traumatic.
So then theater now is that medium that allows you to express yourself, visit other people's trauma, but not with a judgmental approach. It's more of an understanding approach. Now, maybe I had the knack for that kind of peacefulness or
That's why
the
you're so
sentiment.
zen,
Yeah, yeah.
because you decided what you did not want to be,
Yeah, and
having
that's,
seen what that looked like.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
say witnessing my parents, that I wanted to not be that individual.
Yeah. We're going to talk about fatherhood in a bit too, because you made a statement similar to that one to me.
Yeah.
But fame, the fame comes with the trappings, come with the material versus, you spoke of the medals at JCDC and so on. But you say a part of your journey was very difficult because you think from 2004, you should have did a win Hector Boy Awards. And you were angry, Evie, that the awards weren't coming in because that validation that you so craved from those
Yeah,
awards took you
yeah.
15 years to get.
Yeah. And you know, we tend, with all this philosophy and mind talks, we tend to downplay validation, external validation a lot, because you need to value your own thing first before. But it goes hand in hand because it's a human thing. To be validated by your peers
Yes.
really lift you,
Yes.
so that's why it's good to find good company.
Yes.
So not getting it from the industry at that time was a shocker, you know, because I thought it was, you know, from the very first, I did positive, and I played an inanimate object, you know, in positive. Big up Fabian Thomas. And there was a theater night. Everybody watched it. Everybody was lauding my performance. And I didn't get a nomination for that, and that's 2004. I took it hard. I was like, nah, you know, I'm going to not really focus on the trophy and try and find another form of trophy, which became the encouragement I get from not just peers, but people in the streets. Like, the Jamaican people is what really keep me, because I'm in the streets more than anything else. And because you know, and then people make me feel so magical when they come in my presence. It's like it's the best thing ever happened to them. And they would say, continue, you know, because, you know, and all the foolishness are going out there, and we need your balance, you know, especially in the music, and una uplift the culture, and we all get these
All the time.
because we wouldn't get it normally elsewhere. You know, sometimes we'll come with a medal, you know, mommy wouldn't even know how much it means. So you wouldn't get that level. If we go back to the drama club and we celebrate together.
Yeah, I so understand.
But
Got
big
it.
up Jamaica, you know.
Got it. Got big up Jamaica and Jamaicans who support this gentleman who's about to embark or has embarked on a solo career, right? Wants to make his name in music after Nomad's disbanded. We'll talk a little bit about that, about where he's headed right after we take this break. Soon come. What you call it? My therapy seat. Everaldo Creary is back with me. Nomads was such a great band. We all loved you. And then there was no more Nomads. That was a tough time for you, babes.
Yeah, it were, you know. Also some great times, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you said disband, and I like the poetry. You know, a lot of people say mash up, dissolve. It has dissolved to me and Sheldon, you know. And we released an album in 2019, you know, started, you know, promoting it, was invited to South Africa by Nelson Mandela's grandson. you know, because we were both in films and music consistently. So after the band disbanded in 2016, you know, me and Sheppy dig deep and do this album with Walter Fire, and then COVID came, and you know, I have this epiphany that, you know, after 2.5 decades, I just realized that I felt a type of, if the word is unfulfillment,
Yeah.
in my
Wow.
creative
Wow.
journey, because the vision we all had, or I have, for the band was, you know, everybody, it's got a super group, so it's about everybody.
Super talent.
Yeah, so it's about everybody expressing themselves over time.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was eager to just express my own creative, you know, and deeper than that too, you know, what your contribution to the space, to our culture is important, and
Because
that's
you're
how we
so
started.
big on that.
Very.
And that's, I mean, eventually you want to build a theater and all the rest of it, but we're going to get there. Outside of your cultural contribution and your theatrical career and your film career and your musical career, you're also a dad.
Yeah.
You have a
The hard part.
You have a 13-year-old child.
Yeah, he's 13. It's the hard part. He's my everything. Yeah.
And you said to me that you have made a conscious decision to parent him differently than your dad parented you.
Yeah, my dad. Well, I wanted to be a different dad, and also a different parent. You know, because, you know, growing up you get whap whap whap. You know, not the music. But yeah,
I got whoppings.
yeah, crazy whoppings. But no discussions, no reasoning. And I think that is a very traumatic inheritance from, you know, our slavery vibe. So I would say what I bring to my son now is more of unearthing his confidence in reasoning, because
Yes.
in understanding something deeper than, there's two things. To try and convey a point without hitting requires a deeper level of intelligence.
Amen.
And that's a country problem we're having. Because we grow
We
with
have
it
so
from a
many
child.
angry people.
Yeah, because we grew up with parents hitting the lesson in rather than reasoning the lesson in. So if I'm unable to understand why I'm being punished more. So with my son, there's a situation I told you, like, I told him not to play on the violin and keep playing. I don't want to kill him spirit. So don't play on this side because you might burst the bulb. Moments later, I'm coming, bulb break, you know. I'm going to come out and I'm very solemn, I might expect beating. I was like, you see what I'm tell you, if you don't listen, you know, you'll have consequences, you break the bulb. But the bulb can change, you know, but you have deeper things.
That's right.
But more importantly, I admire that you came to me, right? And even with him and his mommy, beautiful mom, it's about the guts to come to us, even if you do something wrong. We have
So
to be a
important.
safe space for you, because I can't defend you when you're not around if you're not doing that to us.
That's
So
right.
that's what my process as
That's
a
right.
father is trying to implore,
I
you
love
know.
that. I love that. I love that.
You
Sounds
know?
like my process as a mommy. I feel you get so much more out of them when you talk to them than when you
Yeah,
hit them.
do.
I don't hit
Just
my
be
child.
patient,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Other thing I want to talk to you about now is heartbreak. Are you fresh off it or not so fresh anymore? Heartbreak took you to a bad place, my friend.
Yeah.
To a deep, dark place where you said you understand. You know, we hear stories about how people take their lives over love, and your head was really...
Yeah, it's true. I remember. I'll talk about it very interestingly because I don't want to date this thing.
You don't have to.
But I remember we were in this, you know, terrible argument, you know, and those words came out, you know, like, you know, you know, the kill yourself words. I couldn't believe it came out. But it was an endearing thing. So what, you know, you said something about theatre savior. What theatre, and as the craft of acting does, it allows you to, like, separate yourself from your mind, you know?
It's a scary thing.
Yeah, because your mind do things and you bind to it too quick. So you have to, so when I sit back, I couldn't believe I said that, you know? And that's when I realized that I had lost myself and my creative juice. So that's when I had a serious epiphany to just always protect that creative space, you know?
And guard your heart.
And guard my heart, you know? You talk about nomads, and nomads is a kind of spirit, not necessarily a band. It's a spirit of revival, you know? And I remember one time I was talking to, I think it was Protege, and he said something about how important it is to protect your creative space. And when he said it, it was deeper than just a space. It's your frame of mind.
Your whole essence.
Yeah, because that was what I had from the beginning. And it is what is going to propel me forward. So I realized I had to see what's happening with myself, because it's not about the other person. It's about yourself.
Got to save yourself.
Yeah, because I always say I wasn't so relationship educated, you know. You said traveling the world, you get caught up. I'm still at a fault. I would say that's my fault. It's too much in the craft, you know. But it's a sacrifice for being great. But when I found how to love myself and the way I was, and realizing that it wasn't so far off and I must just tighten up that, it then now showed me what I have to offer, which is not necessarily a material thing, but more of my presence, my space, my words, my energy. I'm going to start cultivate that a little bit deeper, you know.
Thank God for nature and river and soca, so you save yourself.
Yeah, Wolipa River, man.
Wolipa River, wash where the cross is.
Yeah, but if you're talking to someone, you cannot go around that.
Yeah, we're going to talk some more about that. First, though, we want to send some love. Well, not me. I'm sending love to you all the time, but there's some folks who want to send some love to you. Run it, Lord. It's a good vibes time.
Greetings, Apoko. Everaldo Creary, and it's evident that you just might happen to come out to be the president. Yeah, man. So I go on, my brother, you know, say, I just use this opportunity to make you know, say, yo, you was a person who I look up to. See me? Yeah, my brother, things I learned from you, invaluable. I can't put a price tag on it. You get me? And just for that, I just want to use this opportunity from a star to another star to make you know, say, yo. And if not supposing, but I give you your roses, you know, and just make you know, say, you're a great person, a great individual, and you inspire a lot of persons.
Very proud of you. Been watching the journey from a younger age. You know, I get the opportunity to work with you, you know, in music, through Kaboom, and I believe that we're going to do great things. So far, it has been great. I tell you, I wake up, look forward to say, yo, let me see what Apuko have for me today. Let me see how I'm going to go on with the rhythm here. You know, the vibe we're having at the studio when we sit down and rap, bro, the sky is the limit. It's MMG, and we're going to make it together. Right? Just guide you when we make a walk.
I just want to pause in at this moment to just big you up. When me hear what I go on, I just stop my car and just say, yo, I need to send my roses to you right now. My bro, you are one of the most talented people I've ever met. You are awesomely talented. My bro, for the many years that I've known you, you have always been this person that is this Anansi type of creative that is so unpredictable with the things that you do and say. You know, you have mentored me in every step and every direction that I have went in my life. You have always encouraged me. You have always been there to support me. And I just want to make you know, say, you are the greatest. My bro, whole heap of love to you right now in this moment. I'm going to send that right now to your heart. Whole heap of love, bro. And see you on the stage. Because we're not done, you know. We have more work to be done. Big up.
Peace King. Evie, I just want to say thank you so much for believing in me. You know, you are so humble. You are a legend. And you never met because, oh, you're a legend. You didn't respond to me when I first reached out for assistance. I just want to say thank you so much for welcoming me. You know, you have been a really fun dad. You have been the big brother that I've never had, and you have been the best mentor. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. You know, the birds and the bees talks, the showbiz talks, all the talks, the lectures, even though we drop asleep most of the time. Thank you so much. Thank you for mentioning my name in rooms that I've never been. Thank you for bringing me everywhere. Thank you so much. Thank you for pushing me. I appreciate it. And I love you.
Everaldo, Evie, the greatest, bro. Just pick up yourself. Thanks for everything what you have done for every royal. You see me, I say, thanks for being a mentor. You see me? Thanks for being a friend. Thanks for being a leader. You see me? So just continue on your road to greatness. You don't know so they are cheer for you. So enough love, bro. You see me? Love and respect. Apoko! That is it, greatness.
Apogo! I never get that right ever, but him always answer me, and it's a good thing about Everaldo. When I thought, what would I say about Evie in this? Giving. Giving. I've worked with him as an actor, I've worked with him as a director, a producer, and Evie is the kind of person you can't just put your life in him on there because you know he's going to take care of it, he's going to cherish it. I don't know, Evie, I don't know where you get that about you, but I can only say that you have given so much that you will receive even more. And I'm so excited to see you on the big screen over and over again. When you got Grammy, remember me, I want to say I would like to thank God. Come on, if you ever say it. But there's just so much that God is going to bless you with. I will love you if we never tell you yet.
What is? Fortis forever, forever, Fortis. Nomads. You know, Franklin Town, Rallington Town. Now we're a big man with children. You know, continue to be an amazing father to Harry. You don't know. And continue to be an amazing creative. You know what I mean? Continue to inspire the youths them. Continue to keep the bar high. Continue to not take yourself so seriously. You know what I mean? And continue to search and find that truth, that trueness of yourself that you're defining every day. Continue to be a social media sensation. Continue to be funny, bro. Why? Continue to be hilarious, you know? And the trad continues. Anyway. Link up on the rock. What is?
Hello, Daddy. I just wanted you to know that I love you, and I love being related to somebody as talented as you. I love watching you on the big screens and on the stages. I just wanted you to know that I'm very proud of you, and I hope you become the best in the world and become more successful.
Keep up the good work, keep the courage, and have the perseverance to push ahead to hit the goal. I pray the protection of God upon you all. Love you. You're doing a great work.
Hello, Everaldo, my son. I am so happy for you. So proud of you, my darling, for all your achievement. I pray you continue to be successful, and I ask the Lord to be your guide as you go along. I love you so much. God bless you.
Send me a text every morning. Maybe it's the music. Why I'm crying.
We're going to just say, okay, it's the music.
That was
It's the
awesome.
music. It's the music.
That was moving. Yeah.
You're on a mentorship mission now. Let's talk about that on the other side of the break. Because that's the next step you say. I hear so many of the young people say, you never said no. I've heard every royal speak about you. He talks about you like a god in our conversation. So let's talk about the next level for you, which is not only the solo career, but the mentorship and how that feeds your soul and your spirit when we come back. Good to see. And even some of the very church people who told him not to do this are now cheering for him, as we all are. We have more on him, so we'll wrap the show with Everaldo after this break. Soon come. All right, folks, 3 minutes to affirmation. So let's get this wrapped. Mentorship, you say that's your next level. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, it's because I think I owe it to all my mentors over the years. Hold on.
Yeah, it's okay.
So
you owe the mentorship of others to the mentors who looks out for you. Yeah.
Yeah, because you come from inner city and inherit opportunities. So you have to walk off it. We do a whole heap of walk, So you have this virgin named Aston Cook.
Yes.
Yeah, Aston Cook.
Rest in peace and power.
Yeah, big him up. Him just the way they love the youths, them just genuinely, but his love for the craft and preserving the space too. I would see him spend more money. He died on my own money and all them thing there. You know what I mean? I don't care about that. Him just have good words to say to you. I remember when he asked me, "So are you an actor?" And me I said, "No, aspiring actor." He said,
You are an
actor.
Yes.
Because in my head space, I'm thinking I need more experience, my resume, But that's the craft is not really. It's about your willingness to
become.
Because actor don't like the word acting. We become. And that muscle of becoming unearthed a next level of confidence within me. Because to go over the level of stage fright and thing.
Yes.
So you have so many mentors. Mr. Pearson, when I acted my way into a summer job at Civil Aviation Authority.
That you did not qualify
Not qualify for. I saw him recently, for the lunch money and the prep talk, So many of them. Volia Johnson, I owe it to him one little conversation, just tune my career a certain way, Oliver Samuels, I've never been on the stage with him, but, he helped me get my first car and,
bless him.
Leonie Forbes, when I see her in the street, I was talking to Karen recently and she said, what you're saying is true, but it's because you guys, we, at the time, we were so humble. So she said, we invite that energy, and they love that. So you might not call enough names, but when I saw how important it is as a creative in acting and music, because, creative, a lot of starving creatives out there.
Tell me about it.
Because the economic stuff it's hard. And I don't want them to be dissuaded by that. And that's why I think it's so important, because I feel like it's dissolving too, you know. A part of our culture is dissolving, just like the disbandment. And I don't want it to happen. So my little
you're
contribution,
pouring into
I'm
them
pouring.
to keep the culture
Yeah,
alive.
because I was listening to this actor from Hollywood, and he said, if at 60 you don't want to teach it, you're not supposed to be doing it.
What a brilliant quote. I feel like at 80, you're still going to be teaching. 90. This is after your solo career has taken off, by the way. So look out for him. He's making music. Everaldo is going to, I mean, he's already amazing, but man, there's so much more for you to do.
Yeah.
And continue dreaming and doing and being.
That's my favorite part.
Becoming.
Yeah.
Love that for you. Thank you for sitting in my chair.
It's a hot chair, man. You know?
It's a cool chair.
It's a beautiful chair. You know, I needed that. It's awesome.
I'm glad. Thank you for honoring me with your presence.
And you too, you know, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And you too, please continue. You're doing an awesome, awesome work.
Bless you.
Indelible.
Thank you. Thank you, Evie. All right, time for our affirmation, everybody. To be or not to be, that is the question. And further, to be what and to whom? Choices will present that make answering these questions very difficult. But the answer comes in being you. To be you when choices get hard. To be you when life changes in ways good and bad. To be you when challenges come, and to stay you when you start to win big. To be or not to be? That is the question. And the answer is yes, I will be authentically me. So tonight we are affirming, I choose to be true to me. And that is our soul food and our show for this evening. Thank you guys for watching. We are back next week with another story of the power of the human spirit. Until then, every blessing. And please remember to count your blessings.